Let's have a look at my winter garden. It's a bit of a drizzly day, but this is how you can make your garden look even greener even in the winter. It's the choice of the plants that you make. Here I've got some evergreens. Some evergreens are really essential to make your garden look green even in the winters. I've got few different variety of everything really. There are lots of succulents in my garden which also are quite evergreen. Here is my special succulents greenhouse. This is specially meant for the succulents, and you can see this is winter in the month of Jan, and the succulents are still looking quite healthy and happy and really smiley. These are all together 25 different varieties of succulents in my greenhouse. Luckily they've done really well during this winter. But you got to be really careful about them, about how much you water them and the dampness in the soil, because otherwise they can rot and cause fungal infections. So what I do is I usually leave the door of the greenhouse a bit open for a few hours during the day. So if you leave the greenhouse open for a few hours, not for a few hours, just a tiny bit, just as you can see, the door is slightly open, maybe just for a couple of hours, and that will stop the fungal infection on the succulents, because as the fresh air gets in, the damp air doesn't stay inside, which actually causes a fungal disease. And that really helps. Here I've got my daffodils and snowdrops coming, which marks the approaching of the spring. To keep my garden looking evergreen and really lovely and colourful, I've got the Heuchera silver dust, which is evergreen and has nice white silvery leaves all throughout the year. It really gives life to the garden during the winter season especially. It's just like there is something to look outside the window rather than having nothing and just a dead patch or graveyard. These are my other evergreens. So basically in the winter, even if your annuals die back, you've still got something going on in your garden. So it's really important, the plants that you choose for your garden, so they make it look really evergreen. This is my aloe vera, which was actually indoors for a couple of months. It has now come out as the temperatures were slightly warming up, so I just put them outside. But it looks pretty healthy, but they got to be indoors during the winter, otherwise the leaves of the aloe vera can actually freeze during the winter and then start rotting away. These are my lovely colourful primroses, giving really light to the garden, and these are at the moment my highlights of the garden. These are my colourful Heucheras. This is what they look like during the winter, but at least I've got some colour outside, which is great. So as I mentioned earlier, it is really important to choose plants for your garden. So basically just a mixture of the evergreens and the annuals would make a wonderful garden. So even if the annuals die back, you've got something going on outside, something to look at.